out. We're at like a 4% move in the S&P, and it feels like one of the quietest days in a long time, 4.2% right now. How long can we just sustain this type of volatility at these levels day in, day out like this?
Hey, Joe. Yeah, it's really a test of patience, right? I mean, I think, one of the questions on everybody's mind is, when can I start to kind of to look at this as a buying opportunity? And, I think in this market, it just, with the day-to-day swings that you just mentioned, I think it really helps to kind of have a checklist and kind of just wait for things to kind of materialize. I mean, the VIX obviously got to what about an 85-ish, or 84, 83, I think is where we topped out. And today it's like a tiny victory to see us back below 80, but I don't really see us really giving up any technical ground, in the VIX, and would really like to see that come in a lot more than, just under 80.
All right. Well, Christian, I mean, a tiny victory means 77.15, which is kind of astonishing to say that given how low we've seen a lot of the volatility gauges over the past few years. How far down do you think we have to start to see some of these measures go before we could start getting some sense of stability in the market and maybe a little bit of an all clear for at least those folks who do want to take on risk?
Yeah, one of the things that I always put on my charts just to capture like the very short-term trend is just a five-day exponential or regular moving average, and that tells me that that would get us, if we start to drop below say 55 in the VIX and even better below 50, I think that would at least kind of get us off of that short-term trend that we're seeing right now, and vice versa. That goes with the indices too, with the S&P and with NASDAQ. I would like to see us reclaim that 5-day moving average and get back above that, which, they're both confirming one another. And right now we're just not seeing very many divergences, which is what I'm also looking for.
Christian, one of the striking things that a lot of people have been discussing over the last week is this sort of inability for the Fed, which people consider to be a vol dampener or a vol suppressant, to really do much. Rate cuts, expanding the balance sheet, asset purchases. Has it surprised you that some of the classic tools in the toolkit on the monetary side, that the market is almost completely indifferent to them?
It is, right? I mean, we've seen these things before, and it does kind of ring true with what we've seen in 2008. If you remember when they were announcing various different quantitative easing and trying to bring down interest rates, they would have a very minimal impact. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. Every time they announce one of these, even though it seems like they're blockbuster type things, like $1 trillion was just, I heard in the last hour, it gives us like a sugar rush for about 10, 15 minutes. And then the market, kind of just it completely ignores it. And that's kind of what we saw Sunday night with futures as well.
All right. Our thanks there to Christian Frommerts of Tribeca Trade Group. Thanks for that today. Let's take a quick look at where we stand.